Don't just make the vision board. You can visualize it. There's visualizing, and then there's fucking doing. The man that is the best for you isn't the one sliding in your DMs asking you to fly you out. I will not be that girl that competes every 5-6 months and looks the fucking same.
Who you a fool for this? Who you a fool for this? I walk like I talk like I act like I look like I think like my shit don't stink. I fuck like I suck like I ride like I taste like I look like my shit don't stink. I walk like I talk like I act.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back, or hi if you're new. If you're new, my name's Kenzie, bodybuilder, influencer. I just yap most of the time, but last year you guys loved this video. I did a 2023 reflection video of me just yapping. I'm gonna do it again. I'm not smoking this time just because I already feel tired as fuck. And I just know I'm gonna fall asleep right after this video. It's the middle of a fucking Sunday and we don't need that. There's no plan to this video. I'm not planning anything out. I'm literally just gonna go through my camera roll and talk about this past year. Last year I made this into like a casual video and you guys fucking loved it. I don't know, I feel like this time of year you get a lot of like, 25 is my year, like 2025 is gonna be my year, 2024 sucked. And I think that's gonna happen every single year if you let it happen. And I try not to let that happen to me. I've been through, if you've been following me, a lot of shit over the past couple years. Even the year that my best friend died. I said that year, like, I refuse to say that this entire year sucked just because that sucky thing happened to me. And I think it's really easy to get caught in this, like, well, this year sucked, like, next year's gonna be better if you constantly look at the awful shit that happened. I'm gonna go through just my camera roll and talk about what 2024 was. And then I also had you guys ask me, I did like a Q&A box on Instagram just about like things I've gone through. You've seen me post this year that you guys want more details on. I said there are a lot of things that I won't be talking about that happened this year. I might talk about it later in the next couple years in social media. Right now I'm just like not ready. I'll answer what I can, but let's just go through my camera roll and see what the fuck happened. Okay, so starting off like end of December of 2023, first part of January 2024. I was kind of on the same, like, I don't know, the same schedule I've been this year. I had just finished a mini cut. I was feeling so slay about myself. If you guys know 2023, end of 2022 I competed, 2023 fucked up my post show, was not great, was not feeling so hot about myself. This time last year is when I finally felt like me again. I don't know, I was just feeling good. We started January by going and visiting my parents in Florida, and I actually vlogged that, so that's on my page. I just remember being like in a really good place with off season and just like my body and content. I feel like at the beginning of every year I'm like really excited to make content and like really just inspired to, I don't know, do my own fucking thing. This was around the time too that me and Kerrigan decided that I wasn't going to compete in 2024 at all after we did our mini cut, and we were going to grow all of 2024 so that I could compete in 2025, which is still happening. The original show that we wanted to do got pushed back, which is fine, is what it is, but I am still competing in 2025. January was just some travel towards the beginning part of the year to see my parents, just being on my shit, and like, you know when you're just like in your routine and you love being in your routine, like I was just like locked in, and just training was good, nutrition was good. We finished my reverse out of my cut at like the end of January. Like, I don't know, I just felt really good about just content, and the start of last year was really, really good, honestly. Then moving into February, at this time last year, you guys, I don't think you guys knew about Mystery Man yet, my boyfriend Trevor, but we were very much like locked in at that point, at least in my head. Like he was sleeping here every single night. You guys just had no fucking idea. Like, I'm pretty sure after I filmed this video last year, I like went to his house right afterwards. February, I had my birthday. That was the first time that he like met my friends. He like went out with us. I feel like I should zoom this in. I feel like I'm like too far away from you guys. I feel like this is kind of better. Yeah, maybe. Okay. But anyways, February, I had my birthday. He met my friends for the first time. We ended up going to this like lounge called Kashmir in Chicago. And I knew that like it was not he's not a club guy. Like, he's honestly not a going out guy at all. But that is when I was like, that's my man for sure. And then February happened. Honestly, like January and February weren't that like monumental. Like nothing crazy happened. Well, actually, at the end of January, that's a lie. At the end of January, Buff Chick came here with Alex, just another fit chick on TikTok, and we did some content for the Arnold, which was super fun. It was like just fun to bring them to like my home gym and like be at Iron Mine and stuff. End of February, after my birthday's February 3rd, by the way. I'm an Aquarius. End of February, Darc Sport, we went to Monterey, California for a shoot. And then from there, me and Peyton went to Miami. That shit was so fun. That was one of the best trips I've ever been on. We were only there for like 2 days. We went from Monterey straight to Miami. It was, if you watch that vlog, it's one of my favorite vlogs that I have. Like, We went to a fitness event out there, and then our friend Sabrina, she owns a bikini brand, and we went to like a couple events with them. We went out. The last day was probably my favorite. Me and Peyton went to a drag brunch, the same drag brunch that I went to, I don't know if I vlogged it, maybe I did, a couple of years ago for my friend's bachelorette party. We went there, and then we met these two guys at brunch, and we spent the rest of the day with them, and it was, we talk about it all the time, like, I love them so much. Like, you ever just meet two people, and the whole time we were just like, there's this saying, it's like, you're always 7 people away. Like, you're 7 people away in your life from, like, knowing Beyonce. Like, somebody, like, knows Beyonce. Like, just something like that. You're always 7 points away from, like, someone, like, just, like, all the things we connected on. And it wasn't even, like, we were fucked up and, like, vibing. It was, like, we truly, like, felt this connection. Oh, my God, I miss them so much. I want to go back to Miami and see them again. So, February, like I said, January, February, I was chilling. Like, I'm living my best life, honestly. I love how I look. I love how I'm performing in the gym. Life is fun. Like, I'm in my element. Like, I'm locked in, but I'm still enjoying life. Like, January, February, great, right? March comes around, and I go to the Arnold with Buff Chick. That was, like, probably one of the best moments of my, like, the influencer part of my career ever. I never in my fucking life thought that that many people would, like, want to wait in line to see me. Like, it was actually one of the craziest things I've ever experienced. I got to meet so many of you, and just, it's so cool, because now I've seen, like, a lot of you guys at, like, these different expos, and, like, I see you multiple times, I recognize your faces, like, even just, like, on that Saturday, like, some of you guys waited in line for, like, 3 hours, which is insane to me. It's just, like, the stories that you meet, and people will be like, you inspired me because of this. This one girl, she was diagnosed with cancer, and she, like, I was just, like, I'm crying, like, the whole time. And I talk about Buff Chick all the time. I appreciate them so, so much. Meg and Ryan, the culture that they have built and the way that they, like, I don't feel like I'm just a number to them. I don't feel like I'm just there to sell stuff for them. Like, I genuinely feel like they care about me as a human being. I love them so much, and that trip was just, like, so monumental. Just, like, the Arnold in general being with, like, it was me, Alex, and Julia that were there, and just, I don't know, like, meeting all of the people that, like, follow us in common, and just getting to talk with you guys. Never in my life did I think I'd be, like, signing people's lifting belts next to, like, fucking Darc Lunsford's name. It was actually the craziest fucking experience. So that week was just, like, that was probably one of the highlights of just, like, my, like, influencer career, if you even want to say that. But that weekend was so fun. And then, if you guys know, you know, at the end of March, I went to, with Darc Sport, they brought us to the Arnold in the UK. I had known that this was happening, so I booked, like, me and Peyton went to Dublin for 2 days beforehand, and then we were going to Birmingham for the expo with Darc Sport, and then we went to London with Darc Sport, and then from there I was going to Amsterdam, and then Portugal. I was so fucking excited. I was going to be gone for, like, 22 days. Lo and fucking behold, this is where the year kind of, I don't want to say crashes and burns, but, like, kind of. On the flight to Dublin, my ears, like, hurt, like chewing, like, it just felt like there was, like, this sharp pain, like, the whole time in my ears. I was chewing, like, it hurt, like, my teeth hurt. That was kind of weird, and I just was kind of feeling sick, but I thought it was jet lag. Like, thought it was jet lag. I'm like, damn, this jet lag thing sucks. We get to Dublin, me and Peyton are both jet lagged as fuck. And the thing is, in my DMs, you guys are all like, no, like, nobody tells you about jet lag. Like, you feel ill. Like, you feel fucking sick. I felt awful. We get to Birmingham, UK. Peyton's feeling fine. I'm still feeling like trash. But the whole time I'm like, stop being a bitch. Like, you're in the fucking UK. Like, stop being a bitch. I feel so restless. Like, just, like, lethargic. We go to London. I feel awful. If you met me at the Arnold UK Expo, I'm so sorry. I was not myself. It was like a situation, everyone else is, like, sweating in these expos. I'm in so hot. I'm shivering. I'm, like, wearing my jacket. Like, I'm so fucking cold. I was living on fucking Dayquil. Same time, I'm in London with a brand. Like, I'm like, stop being a bitch. Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you so fucking tired? And it went from me not being able to sleep to me just wanting to sleep all the fucking time. Everyone's still telling me, oh, jet lag, right? And then I'm feeling like shit in London. Like, genuinely, I remember going to a gym, and, like, it was, like, very just, like, an up and down gym. Like, there were stairs and stuff. I felt like I was going to fall down the stairs every single time we walked. We went to the gym. I literally just laid on a foam roller the entire time. Just fucking awful. And then when I got to Amsterdam, so after the Darc Sport, where the trip was done, I went to Amsterdam. I've never felt so ill in my fucking life, but still, I'm forcing myself to do things because I'm in fucking Amsterdam by myself. Like, I made myself do, like, I went and got a massage because I was like, maybe my body just needs a massage, whatever. Like, I just feel fucking ill. Like, I don't know what it is. I went on a boat tour. I But then every day I would have to be back in my hotel by like 2 or 3, because by 2 or 3 I'm ready to sleep for 6 hours. And I would go to sleep at like 3, wake up at like 8, like, oh my god, like so, like I could not open my eyes, so tired. But I'd force myself to get out, go and get some food. The thing that helped in Amsterdam though, because also they don't sell Dayquil. That doesn't exist. They only have ibuprofen. So there are no like over-the-counter meds. There's no NyQuil that you can take in Amsterdam. None of it, right? So thank God weed is fucking legal. Otherwise, I genuinely think I would have collapsed. Feeling like shit. At this point, I had canceled my Portugal trip. I was supposed to be in Portugal for 5 days. I literally lost like $2,000 on that trip. It's fine, whatever. I will get there eventually. I really want to go there in 2026. But yeah, it was awful. Whatever. Of course, I come back, and at the time, mystery man. I think he was still. We weren't together yet. Maybe, I don't even know the timeline of that. Did I ask him before? No. So we came back, and he's like, "You need to go to urgent care." I'm like, I'm fine. He's like, "No, you need to go to urgent care." Lo and behold, your girl had mono and 2 different strains of COVID the whole time. No idea, right? I had somebody call me, what was it? A fucking something terrorist because I was traveling. I'm like, do you think I fucking knew? And also, I'm sorry, I wasn't going to the hospital. I didn't think I needed to be in the hospital. And also, I'm in a foreign country, bitch. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Like, what? So I come back, have mono. I think the worst of it is when I was in Amsterdam, right? At that point, like, he had been staying with me all the time. Like, he was always here. And one of our friends had came over one day, and his friends would make comments, like, as if we were together. So, keep in mind, I still think I'm in a situationship. But I will say about my man, I knew from day one that he wasn't, like, fucking with other girls. Like, I knew he was about me. So, like, I was never like, oh my god, is he talking to somebody else? Like, I kind of knew. So, one day, one of his friends was here, and he, like, made a comment, like, oh, like, because I was, like, making him breakfast, like, wifey as fuck, I know, embarrassing. And he's like, oh, like, Kenzie in love, whatever. And then we're just, like, sitting on the couch later, and I just looked at him, and I was like, so, are you my man? And he, like, looks at me, and he's like, I don't know, am I your man? And I was like, I asked you first. And what this man proceeds to say, Trevor, this is what he says. He goes, I mean, well, I sleep in your bed, like, almost every night. Like, he thought that we were already together. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking kill myself. And I was like, that means nothing. And so then we were like, yeah, you're my man. And that's was like, okay, I have a boyfriend now. Crazy. We were, like, together before this happened. And that's, the way I say that is because we literally said I love you, like, 3 days after that. Because I knew he was going to say it, too. Because he's like, I knew that you weren't going to say it. And because one day he was just being fucking weird. And I just knew he was going to say it. And then, what if he said it? And then, God, there's so much lore that happened. You guys, this was a very transformative year for Miss Girl, okay? So, that was, like, beginning of April. Beginning of April, right, I have COVID and mono, have a boyfriend now. And yeah, and he's, like, staying here pretty much every fucking night. Then, at some point in April, so he was living with a roommate at the time. I'm not going to say it was, like, the best living situation ever. And I just kind of started joking, like, well, what if you lived here? And he was like, and then one day he's like, are you being serious? I was like, yeah, move here, live with me. So then he basically at that point was already living with me, but like it was just one of getting his stuff in there. So then in May, started moving stuff in. But let's go back to the downfall of mono. Mono ruined my life in the sense of mono fucked with my stomach and my digestion so bad. Keep in mind, on the way to Europe, I'm thriving. Like, love where I'm at with my body and my intake. I feel strong. I feel like great, right? Everything's great. Mono, boom! Like, literally ruined my digestive system. I was just, like, gaining fucking weight. Like, it was just, like, what the fuck happened, right? So, April, May, my digestion was really fucking bad. Not good. Maybe I should look at my fucking photos again so I'm just yapping at this point, everyone. We went to Memento Mori. That was the first trip that I brought him on, and he got to meet, like, a lot of my friends. We also did Chicago Goes Harder. I think that was in April. Where all the coaches came here. That was in May. My brother graduated from college, so I went back to see him for that. In May, I actually had 3 clients compete. I had 2 clients in Chicago. Those were the first clients I ever had compete in Chicago. That was so fun. It is definitely more fulfilling to watch my clients compete. I'm way more nervous on a client show day than I ever am on my own fucking show days. But it is so cool to watch, like, all of their hard work just, like, come to life. And I had 3 girls compete on the same day, which is kind of fucking crazy. In May, I also went and saw Meg the Stallion. Like, what else? I'm trying to figure out how I was feeling at this time. Like, I remember at this point, training was still good, but my weight kept on going up. My digestion was awful. Like, doing hip thrusts was fucking criminal. All of me feeling like shit during this time there's a reason for it that we'll talk about kind of a little bit later. I just really was not feeling so slay at this point in my life, but I was like, I'm bulking, like, is what it is, like, whatever. In June, I had another client compete. I feel like I went to visit my parents. Or was that in July? Ooh, this era. Okay, June is when my appetite really took a fucking hit. I have never in my life been like, I can't eat. Like, this feels fucking awful. Like, I didn't want to eat fucking anything. So I was, like, being really creative with my meals. Like, it was a weird fucking time. At this point, I was taking, like, a weekly free meal, I'm gonna be honest. Just living my life. Like, normally, me and Trevor go out on a date night, like, every, like, Friday or Saturday. In June, I also went to, so Darc Sport did their tour this year, their Memento Mori tour. So I went to Houston, I went to New York, I went to Phoenix, LA. Am I missing one? I feel like I'm missing one. Whatever. So we went to New York in June, and me and Peyton went a day early so that we could go and see Odessa. We did leave early, I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, it was giving I want to be put to sleep, but we did ride a carriage afterwards. That was so fun. And then we ended up going to the Brooklyn Mirage the next night. That night was so fucking fun. So good. I got to meet so many of you guys at the pop-up. It's always fun, like, when I get to meet you guys and just, like, chat with you guys, and I don't know, it's just, like, it's really cool. Me and Peyton always just talk about how lucky we are that we have, like, grown this friendship, and we get to do, like, we get to have someone to have all of these, like, influencer experiences with. I just think that's, like, really special that we get to have that together. The summer's, like, really just fucking blurring together. I don't know if that says anything about where my mental health was fucking at. July, I went to Houston with Darc Sport. So at this point is when I started working with, her name is Lacey, on my gut, because I knew something was fucked up. And she did mention that, like, COVID and mono will do that to you, especially when they give you antibiotics. I don't really go into much detail. Like, I had people ask me, like, more details on that. It's not something where I can just be like, you have gut issues, do this. Like, it comes down to you being, like, prescribed certain antibiotics. If you want to reach out to her, her Instagram handle is Faith and Fit. You can set, like, a consultation, call up with her. Why I like her is because she doesn't, if she thinks your problem can just be fixed by supplements, she's not going to make you do this, like, 6-month coaching thing. Like, you just pay per call with her, which I think is nice. She makes it, like, really affordable, which a lot of, like, functional health things just aren't, if we're going to be honest. And really it just came down to, I couldn't be in a deficit. If you want to be in a deficit and you want to fix your gut, sorry, it's probably not happening. We had to bring, like, training intensity down just, like, a little bit, brought food up, and I started these supplements, and honestly, she fixed me. Like, there's really not a whole much to say about it, but it felt nice to have that answer. I did have some other health issues that I won't be talking about. That explained a lot of it, if I'm going to be honest to you. And I don't mean to be that influencer that's like, things happen, but I'm not going to tell you. It's just one of those things where it's not just something that affects me. And also, I might share it someday. I don't really know. If you want to put 2 and 2 together, you can with your own head. But, yeah, it was, honestly, I'm going to be honest, April through August was a shit show. August was kind of like the boom part of the shit show, but it was a shit show. I'm still training the whole time, though. I'm still trying to grow these glutes the whole fucking time. I will say the social media aspect is always going to play a big part. A lot of times I have to sit down and ask myself, like, how do you really feel? Because a lot of it is just anxiety about, like, how the internet is going to respond to me, and, like, what they're going to think, because, especially on these Darc Sport trips, like, a lot of these girls don't compete. They can just stay lean year-round, and it's just, like, if I'm going to be honest, I just feel like the fat fuck on these trips half the time, and it's easy to get in my head a lot of the time, but yeah, I don't really know if there's a positive to that. It's just how I feel. August came around. I will share part of it. My mother was diagnosed with breast cancer, so that was awesome. A lot of other health things happened that were not great, not fantastic to me. Yeah, not awesome. I met Trevor's family for the first time in August still, so slay. We went down, he was from Springfield, Illinois, and he had a friend that was getting engaged, so I got to meet all of his, like, high school friends and stuff. In July, he came and met my family. He was so fucking nervous the first time. He literally comes through the door. My dad's like, you can breathe. Like, because you could just tell he was so fucking nervous. Actually, you want to know something tragic that my dad did the first time that they met? So my boyfriend's black, right? I am from a predominantly white area. My drunk-ass father, one night, my brother has all of his friends over, and we're, like, eating dinner, and my dad just proceeds to tell Trevor in front of everyone that it does not matter what his ethnicity is, that he looks at people as people. And if you have a good soul, he likes you. It was the most uncomfortable thing in my entire life. I knew what he meant. The delivery was just awful. So that was that. Like I said, so I'm kind of going between July and August right now, just because I fucking can, okay? Houston's Memento Mori was the best one they had, like, by fucking far, in my opinion. August, Sophia got her pro card. We went to Pittsburgh to see John compete and Sophia compete. That was so fucking fun. I felt so emotional watching Sophia compete because I feel like I've just, like, watched her grow into, like, a person. She's younger than I am. She's 22. She got her pro card on her birthday when she was 22 years old. I'm pretty sure she found Kerrigan through my TikTok videos, and that's how she started working with Kerrigan. But I don't know, over the past, like, year and a half, like, just watching her grow her social media and her sponsors and start working at, like, being taken on as a Hustle Harder coach, like, I just feel like business-wise and, like, personally through bodybuilding, I've, like, watched her, like, just, like, grow through so much. I literally just feel like we're friends, like, but I just feel, like, so proud. Like, I'm just, like, love her. So then, when I came back in August, after all of my gut protocol shit was done, right? It was time to cut, because my timeline for prep had already been pushed back. And it was kind of like, okay, bitch, we have a lot of weight to lose, because I put on more weight than I should have, due to everything that was happening internally with me. And so Kerrigan was like, okay, we have like 10 to 12 weeks to lose 25 pounds. And I was like, all right, sounds good. Looks like I'm entering prep for the next 12 weeks. Which, honestly, we did the damn fucking thing. I didn't lose weight like I always do in a cut for the first, like, 4 weeks. And whatever. I grinded. It was basically a prep, I'm going to be honest with you. Cardio was high, food was very much low. But we did it, and I am so happy, and I am in such a better place mentally now. I don't want to sit here and be like, oh, I only like myself when I'm lean, but I genuinely did not feel like myself from April through August. Like, I felt like, I don't know, and it was just so hard to want to post content, because it's like, I don't fucking even like myself right now. I don't want to film myself. I don't want to look at myself. I don't have to look back and edit me in the fucking gym. I was not about it, okay? But yeah, so this cut just, like, made me, even Alex told me, she's like, you've always been that bitch, but, like, it's been really cool just to, like, watch you be more yourself the past few months. And I hate to say it, but, like, this cut literally, like, changed that for me. And now I'm in a position where I'm, like, so fucking excited to prep next year, and I really feel like I put on so much size in the past couple years. You know, it might not be, because I've kind of struggled with the fact of, like, should I prep? Like, am I big enough? Am I big enough? And I'm just at the point now where it's like, I have put on the size. I put on a lot of size. Is it going to be as much as I want? Honestly, probably not, because it's never going to be enough for me. But I have to at least see what it looks like and go from there. And I'm no longer in a place of like, oh my god, should I push it? Should I push it? I'm like, no, this is what's fucking happening. So that happened. September, I went to Phoenix with Darc Sport. That was super fun. I like emceed on stage. That was kind of fucking crazy. In October, Peyton came here before we went to the Olympia. We had bought tickets to go to John Summit in like fucking June. We were going to John Summit. So we didn't go to the first day of the expo, and then we went to the Olympia. The Olympia weekend was we saw John Summit. Olympia Expo Day 1. Saturday, Expo Day 2, and we see Dom Dalla. That was crazy. I was at the Buff Chick booth and the Darc Sport booth. The Olympia Expo isn't as big as the Arnold, so I'm going to be honest, I like the Arnold better than I like the Olympia, but it was still fun to, like, meet all of you and just, like, I don't know, be with all my, like, influencer friends. It's, like, nice to, like, see my friends, like, every 3 months. Like, we always say, like, we just need an event where we can see each other every 3 months and we'll be fine. So when I got these fucking inches put in, I'm going to take these out before prep, but it's been fun for the time being. I don't know. This fall, it just feels like I cut. I went to Trevor's family's Thanksgiving. He came home for my Christmas. That was super fun. He has officially met every single part of my extended family besides for one cousin on my mom's side. Otherwise, he's literally met everyone. I put my first client on a national stage, Gemma. I literally feel like she's my child. We're the same age. But that was so cool to watch because I've been working with her for like close to 2 years at this point. So that was in December, and then we just had Christmas, and that kind of honestly brings us where we are now. I'm going to go through the questions just because I feel like I'm actually just fucking yapping at this point. I don't know, this year was weird. It was, like, good. I felt really down bad mentally, honestly, the majority of, like, the spring and summer. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was still doing what I needed to do, but it was just, like, harder in that sense. Like, it was a season of life that was just a lot. Went through things I never thought I would ever fucking go through. And then I feel like I got back to myself this fall, like, and now, and I feel like I'm in a really good place. I feel like where I am last year, but better. Like, I feel like I'm just in a better position than like, the same feeling of how I just felt about my life, but even better. But yeah, let's go through these questions, because at this point I literally am just rambling. Can you turn the TV on? He's not listening to me talk about him. Some of these questions are about him. Can you turn the TV on? I don't want you to hear me talking. You can watch it when it's done.
Huh?
You can watch it when it's on YouTube, but I don't want you to hear me talking, so please turn the TV on.
No.
I just want to be by myself. He turned it on. We're just gonna like rapid fire through these. Probably not rapid fire because I can't actually shut the fuck up. Gut health. A lot of them are about my gut health. I'm gonna be so free with y'all. A lot of my gut health things were just about mono, and the other shit that I'm not talking about. I'm gonna be for real with you. Someone was like, how do you balance out with hitting your macros? So your macros are gonna have to be higher. I was gluten-free for a while. I was still, like, basically she gave, like, I would tell her the macros that Kerrigan gave me, and she would just tell me, like, do they need to be higher? What do we need to adjust? Your fat is probably going to be higher, and your carb sources are just going to have to come from, like, more fiber-dense carb sources. I was hitting around, like, 40 grams of fiber a day, so it's just not, like, rice was not my main form of carb during that time. But like I said before, everything with like gut health and working with a functional, it's going to depend on the individual, and that's why I've not like talked a lot about it. It's not because I'm trying to gatekeep, it's just because it's literally not helpful. Because my GI map isn't going to look like your GI map, you know what I'm saying? Meeting / moving in with Trev, everybody wants to know the story. I've told it on like live a lot. We had mutual friends. He knew my friend Hector and just like a couple of our other friends. I had known about him. I had also known that he like kind of liked me because one of them told me. So I kind of had a feeling. And then he had responded to one of my Q&As and said like, would you want to train legs sometime? We trained legs, and then the next day we ended up training push together because I got to the gym at the same time as him and we trained together. He was in prep when we first met. He then asked me to go and get coffee, so we took like it was like a 6-hour fucking date. We went coffee, we like walked around the city. He came, I knew he was in prep, and he hadn't eaten in like fucking 5 hours. I knew he was hungry, so I was wifey as fuck, and I did make him chicken, rice, and broccoli. Yeah, I did do that. And then from there, honestly, we started hanging out like all the time, and we were hanging out together every fucking day, all the fucking time, constantly. I tanned him for his show, and then basically I was just like, you're gonna move in with me now. Live here. Thanks. A lot of questions just about like what I've learned. I think this year's been a big transformational year in terms of like my love life, obviously. I never actually thought I would find someone that I liked and meshed so well with in my life. I do think people always ask me like, do you need to date a bodybuilder? Me personally, yes. I need you to understand my lifestyle, and like we talk about this all the time. It probably wouldn't fucking work if we didn't do this. Like it, just a lot of aspects of our lives, like would it make sense? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. If I could give anyone any advice when it comes to like men, make sure it's somebody that can like mesh with your life. You need to like them as a person. I know in social media now it's all about how to get a high value man, how to do this, that, and the third. The man that is the best for you isn't the one sliding in your DMs asking you to fly you out. It's the man that is going to hear you, cares about your emotions and how you actually fucking feel, and doesn't just want to put band-aids over things and like wants to fix any like problems or feelings that you have. I think that is what I've definitely learned too. I definitely learned that I think because I was hurt in the past, I was just like, my brain was like, I never want to feel like that again, so I'm just not going to pursue anything with anyone. I was single for a long time, but I wasn't looking for anything. Even like when he hit me up, I was like, I'm open to it. But also there's a part of me that I like didn't even want to do it because I was like, well, what if it doesn't work out and then it's going to be awkward at the gym and maybe I just shouldn't do it at all. And looking back, it's like, yes, you were like saving yourself from heartbreak, but also you were stopping yourself from like one of the best human connections that you have the opportunity to have like in this life, you know? So I guess that would be the advice that I have is it might not look like you think it's gonna look, and it's not the people that sell this like how to find this kind of man, it's bullshit. I think this idea that like all men cheat, all men fucking suck, like just fucking go and date the billionaire because he's gonna cheat on you anyways is stupid, and I think it gives the wrong idea to women. And because to me, I still feel this way, like you need to add to my life. Like I live a fulfilling life. I was not like looking for a man and my life will be fueled once I have one and I'm going to be happy once I have a man. No, but he adds to my life and he makes my life so much better, and that's why he's my man. He's gonna be my man forever. Meeting, connecting with Trev / navigating the balance between relationship priorities in life. I will say a lot of it we are still kind of navigating. Like, we've never been through a prep together. Like, we started dating or just hanging out, like, towards the end of his prep. It was his first ever prep. Like, we haven't really fully done that yet. I don't know, he's like my best friend. Like, we just do everything together. Like, it doesn't feel weird. Like, it just feels like natural. Like, it's just like we're just living life and we just like do it all together. I don't know. Like, it doesn't feel like it's something that I really have to like navigate that much, if that makes any sense. What's a standout thing you learned this year that you'll take with you moving forward? People aren't perfect and you have to learn how to work with them. You need to set boundaries with people, especially when it comes to work. I've learned that a lot with coaching and like how to set those boundaries. I've learned a lot of lessons this year when it comes to coaching. And like knowing how I will navigate certain situations moving forward. Yeah. I'll just say that. Your progress as a coach, let's get into that. This is by far my best year of coaching. I feel much more confident with prepping clients now. If you didn't know, I was a lifestyle coach before I started with Hustle Harder, but working with Hustle Harder, I'm now mentored by Brandon and Kerrigan. So all of my prep protocols like go through them first, or I can ask them questions about anything, which is the only reason why I started coaching prep clients, like competition clients at all. I will say, like, it's just cool to like watch it get better and better and better, because I think especially with peaking at first, you're kind of just like more conservative. And now I'm like willing to take bigger risks with it. Like Gemma's peak was the best peak I've ever fucking done. I will never forget seeing her go on stage for nationals and being like, what the fuck? That was like such a cool moment. If you're a coach, you're gonna understand what I'm saying. Like, there are just certain clients I have many of them. Majority of the girls I put on stage this year. Like, they make everything fucking worth it. And you do kind of realize, like, you are a big part in this person's journey. And I've said this before, like, the way that Kerrigan has, like, watched me turn into a person. Like, she started working with me when I worked at my marketing job. Social media wasn't a thing. Like, she's literally watched me become a human being. And I think that's so cool. Like, I've said this before, like, it's cool to me that I can be someone's, like, Kerrigan. And just, like, watching them grow as, like, a human being is just, like, super cool. How did you get over the hard part you went through with the gym and training? I'm gonna be honest with you, I just did it. Like, I didn't want to do it. I felt pretty shitty a lot of the time. I just did. Like, at the end of the day, like, I knew I had to grow my glutes. And to me, it didn't really matter how I felt about it, because the people I'm going to be stepping next to on stage, they didn't care how they felt about it. Like, my competition isn't going to care. And that's something that it's definitely taken years to get to that point, but I wish I had this, like, oh, well, I did this and this and this. I just did it. I got my ass to the gym. Having him helps a lot. I just did it. I'm going to be honest. Like, there's not much else to it. Bouncing back from mono, any other illnesses, life. It took me a good 4 months to bounce back, but we did it. Okay, this one. I really want to talk about this one. At first, when I saw this question, I was kind of like, girl, what you mean? But I get it. She said, how has it been taking time off from stage, like purposefully accepting you wouldn't compete for a while? At first, I was kind of like, girl, what you talking about? I get it, because I think social media makes this worse for people. So in social media's eyes, my 2-year off season is like insane. In bodybuilding world, it's completely normal. I think people really underestimate the size you need for wellness. I'm going to be honest. I don't think people truly understand the density you need, and you're not going to build that size in 6 months, and I knew that. I knew from the beginning, before I ever stepped on stage, that I was never going to be, like, I vowed to myself, I will not be that girl that competes every 5-6 months and looks the fucking same. I would rather take the time off, and this next prep is, like, completely for me, but I'm going to be honest with you. Anyone who said that I should have done bikini, or that I can't grow my glutes, is going to eat shit the next time I'm on stage. Like, I can promise you that. I have put in so much work to these fucking glutes. There is going to be something there. And for me, I knew it was going to take time. I knew it wasn't going to be fast. I knew it wasn't going to be easy. I also think from a mental standpoint, if you have prepped, you know that what you think lean is in your head is completely skewed, right? And post-show, obviously I fucked up my post-show, right? And when you fuck up post-show, what I don't think a lot of people understand, it's not just like, oh, I feel fat. You are, like, signing up to be depressed for the next, like, 7 months. Like, it's, like, you are in such a bad headspace, and I really feel like I didn't feel like myself again until this time last year. And so, like, I knew that prepping in 2024 was not a good idea, and because I felt really burnt out after my prep, just, like, social media-wise. I knew I needed the time, and it's like, now I feel like I'm, like, craving to prep. Like, I can't wait to fucking prep. And I feel like people don't really let their brains, like, regulate. Like I said, like, post-show, your level of leanness is fucked up. I love how I look right now. Like, I feel like just lean enough for my liking. I still feel thick. I feel strong. Like, I feel like I look like I lift. Like, this is my ideal body for, like, when I'm done with competing, if I'm gonna be honest with you. This is just, like, a good place for my body to want to sit. But if I looked like this post-show, I still would have felt like, oh my god, like, I'm so fat. This is so awful. But it's like, you kind of get to a point where you you realize like, oh, this is just what my body looks like, and I feel like normal again. And like I said, I'm at a point where like, I want to compete again. I feel like you have to do that if you want longevity in the sport. I see so many girls like after prep, it's like grind, and it just never fucking stops. And I look at them and I'm like, girl, you're gonna burn out so fucking quickly. Because when I see people talk about how they hate bulking and they hate how fluffy they are, when the reality is it's just their normal body. Like, I will be honest, there are times in off season I get fat. I'm gonna be honest with you. I get a lot thicker than I fucking should. Especially this year with all the health shit I was dealing with. But there are girls that I'm like, most of your following, like, you still have their dream body, like, in their off season, and it gives really out of touch to me. I'm gonna be honest with you, when every 2 words out of your mouth are talking about how much you hate bulking as if somebody's fucking forcing you to do it. Long story short, I knew it's what I had to do. For me, longevity in this sport, I have to be a human. I know there are probably some competitors that look at me sideways for, like, how much or how little, whatever the fuck, I drink in off season. For me, I love this lifestyle. I love training. I love lifting. I love the lifestyle. I love how I eat. Like, I love it all. And in off season, I don't feel like, it doesn't feel harder. I don't feel like, oh, I'm a bodybuilder, this sucks. It just feels like when I see people complaining about off season, I'm kind of like, what are you talking about? Like, I just feel like a girl that lifts, to be honest with you. Like, this is how I would live even if I didn't compete when I'm in off season. And for me, that gives me longevity, and it makes me not want to fucking burn out. I don't know. I also kind of think it's a different ball game. I don't know. I just think wellness is a different ball game. I think a lot of people don't understand the amount of size that you truly fucking need. Brandon Kerrigan's husband, he always compares wellness to classic. Like, realistically, you're not getting a pro card the first time you get on fucking stage. Sophia, you don't count. I think a lot of people just, like, want it so quickly, and especially in this day and age. Like, it's like this flex to achieve as much as humanly possible at the littlest age you can be. And the reality is, for most people, that's not going to happen. Like, bodybuilding is one of the only sports where you can have the perfect off-season, perfect prep. You can put 110% into everything. That doesn't mean you deserve a pro card. Like, it is a game of time. It's not a game of how hard can I work in the shortest amount of time. And I think I've known that for a while now. And I think that's why I've, like, accepted it in a weird way. But it doesn't feel like I'm accepting it. I would say 2023 was a much harder year than 2024 was in that aspect. Next questions are, you guys just basically asked me what my goals for 2025. I'm gonna be honest, it's been really hard to think about like any business goals because I feel like those have been my only goals for the past 2 years besides for building glutes. Whereas I know my prep is gonna start in February. I told you guys in the last video, but it's gonna start in February. I'm gonna be honest, like I'm so excited for prep that it's really genuinely so hard to think about any other like goals in that sense, just because like the first half of my year is just gonna be prep, and I'm like just really excited to be like so into it. I don't know. I've done my fucking time, okay? Like I've done my time in off season. Like I'm fucking ready to prep. I'm excited to have like more challenges on. Oh yeah, 2024. I finally dropped my fucking app. I've been talking about for like 2 years at this point. App finally dropped. Jackal Shit app. Link is down below. But we're gonna do a January challenge. I'm just excited to like put more programs on there and just like make it everything I have wanted it to be. That, get some more girls on stage this year. And honestly, I'm going to be honest, my biggest goal for 2025 is just to bring a much better package than I had in 2022. Best memory of 2024. That is actually a very hard one. The Arnold for sure. Just like my boyfriend. I could be like just him. Just he's the memory. I don't know, like he's been so supportive of everything, and I just literally, I don't even know specific things I could say, but I'm just like, him. The UK was, I'm going to say, it was kind of a shit show, but like in general, like that was such a good trip. Even though I was dying in Amsterdam, I loved Amsterdam. I loved going there. And just like all the travel things I got to do for work this past year have been really fun. Watching Sophia compete and just like watching her and Alex got her pro card this year. Just like watching them grind, like that was really fun to watch. It's kind of hard to give like my favorite memory. I don't know, I feel like this video isn't really that monumental this year. Like, this summer, it was like an up, down, up. Like, same thing as it feels like it was fucking last year, but just like better. If that makes sense. I don't know. What I have learned is like this time of year, everybody and the mother is going to be like, well, 2025 is going to be my year. Like, this is the fucking year for me. 2024 sucked. It's going to be like that for the rest of your life if you tell yourself the year sucked. Even the year that my best friend died, bitch, I didn't even say that year sucked. I went through a lot that year, but I'm not going to throw the whole year away, and I feel like a lot of people end up doing that. Or this is time of year too, where you see like, well, I want to do this, I want to do that. You can post every motivational quote on the planet. you can make the vision board, you can do all the things, but it's like, if you are not actively like trying to make your life better and making those active choices day to day, like it's just not going to happen. And I feel like it's really easy just to live in this space of negativity. I could easily just focus on this summer and how I felt and all of the health things that happened and my mom and all of those things. That's easy to do, where it's just kind of like, I don't like starting my year off on that mindset, if that makes sense. I don't know, easier said than done. People go through shit. This was not like the biggest year in that side of things, like by any means. Like I'm very blessed and very happy to like live the life that I do, but I don't know, I've always felt this way. Like I just feel like people really, it's kind of like, who had the worst year this fucking year? Like it's this contest of who had the worst fucking year, and it's like, okay, 2025 isn't going to be any different than 2024, like just because it turns January 1st, if you continue to think that the world is against you. But yeah, I'm really excited for prep next year. Honestly, I just can't stop thinking about it. But yeah, I'm excited. I don't really know. See what the fuck this video is, you guys. Whatever. You say you wanted it casual. It was just literally me yapping for the past probably like fucking 45 minutes. I'm excited to make more content. I now feel more comfortable like filming in the gym and like bringing my camera and like playing around with like lenses and stuff. So I feel like I'm really elevating in that sense. YouTube vlogs will continue for prep. I love making YouTube vlogs. Like, the editing process of YouTube is my favorite. I've thought about getting an editor. We've kind of talked about this before. I don't know. It's, if I find the right person, I find the right person. If not, I'm just going to keep on doing them, and you're just probably going to get them late. Yeah, but I don't know. Here's to 2025. I'm very fucking excited, and you'll be seeing more of my ass, more than you even thought. Even if they take TikTok away from me, which I really hope they don't fucking do. Make me so sad. But yeah, I don't know. I hope you guys have a good like New Year refresh moments, and do the things you say you're gonna fucking do. Make a game plan, okay? Don't just make the vision board. You can visualize it. There's visualizing, and then there's fucking doing. So just make sure you're also fucking doing it. But yeah, mwah, love you. Thank you guys for all the support and just everything this year. I don't know. Even with the shitty stuff that happens, life does just keep on getting better. So I don't know. I just feel like it's just like the part of like your 20s, which is also crazy. The fact that I'm gonna be 27 in February. I know that's not old, but I'm like, I feel like I'm 19. So it's kind of weird. Yeah, I'm just rambling at this point. Mwah. Bye. Love y'all.
Who you a fool for this? Who you a fool for this? I walk like I talk like I act like I look like I think like my shit don't stink. I fuck like I suck like I ride like I taste like I look like my shit don't stink. I walk like I talk